Bibeko Cape Coast near there. One started.
Ya started.
At the sense so far, me who are graphicum.
Echo fine. Thank you so much. Yeah, launch, for University of Ghana. I think 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I twice for Cape Coast.
Okay.
University of Cape Coast. Now, health screen so with Acquah festival no. And also Sunday yeah back into Egusi yeah next month yeah call Acquah.
Wow. All the way to Obi out here for the first time. You got genetic health idea because when you saw Hona Eja or speciality, you got a genetic health idea.
So genetic health idea Ghana for be in idea just that description na yen tias here. First obi to me can say child health yet say nkola health. Obi can say environmental health. Obi tias say maybe bibia or environmental affect your health.
Yeah.
And the genetic health is not any different from Minuna Makano, except that genetics asem neyeka. And the genetics ne DNA nima ye from ye papa num ne mama num ye nananum ho and nima ye inherit. And this genes no I inherit no aya ebi wo ho it increases your risk say benya yare bi. Nti yare bia ye genetics influence kakra no.
Just say oh papa, wo mama, wo nana bi.
Nti yare bia and I say health is not disease, right? Health is health is just a way yare. Health could be we are very healthy. Into we are very healthy cry it's possible say your health is influenced by genes be we inherit here. But you can't yare asem dia just a genetic disease, genetic health. And yare because of genes either say oh yare no and I say your chances of getting it are high. Into a new say you can
through no fault of yours.
Through no fault of yours.
Depending on papa now mommy and now we bushing on and baby.
But also health complex.
Apomoding.
Aya health be or disease be or our lifestyle so ebema just say adianka maybe you had a risk of getting it. But lifestyle so ama accelerate okonya yare no we between another lifestyle ebema yare no maybe emba as quickly as another person or the same risk but the lifestyle is in such a way that on one cancer increasing the risk. They say if I say lung cancer say we are say who smoke here aya between increase your risk. You be no smoke here obenya lung cancer. And so obi when smoking pool or to being or smoky maybe because of no ankasa any risk or what that nti na we konya yare no nti genetic health you can't just say yare bia ubenya will genes contribute to that disease.
Interesting. The GHGenome pledge ye be amame wahana yeka jeans ho asemi pacho yeka jeans nsabi enya tade jeans ene yeka nti ya no eti na sopemu amame. Now me no go through the 5 pledges. Now me started with 1. Also the GHGenome pledge 1. I'll find out my sickle cell status before I marry. Are they?
Very important. Say ube sickle cell status. This part of the world are away. Ghanaians bia ube in a room of say 10. Bako be sickle cell trait.
Really?
Yes. Until ufa ko say 100.
Until 10.
10 they will room 10 people in any room in Ghana here. One is a sickle cell trait. I can tell you this year baby away I'm say 4 and 5 people. Me sure say back one of us is a sickle cell trait. And that one I can tell you for sure because I know.
But that's scary, eh?
Yes. And because the sickle cell mutation is so common in this part of the world. Yes, you name say AS, another person will AS, and as well A simple. last me ba me church room say bi cry bi or any age be brave no. Nti no cry e ka ho. Wo dey stick with AS ni AC no.
Yes.
Right? Nti nkofo kware na so omo nim omo sickle cell status. Just for every pregnancy there's a 25% chance say akola no obeye SS. Nti say for the first pledge that find out about your sickle cell status before you marry her is information.
Prof, Minea Brantia Nantia, Mineo Babea Nantia, we've developed such a bond.
Yes.
Na the Persia warrior, Eco Fandia Sibui. It's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking, but it's even more heartbreaking if you don't find out and then you go on and have a child and then don't even know that the child know our sickle cell disease. After akwala isu, unim the akosu.
Yeah.
Finally, when you go hospital, I'm sure sickle cell disease. Whereas, so we find it out. Say, the pronoun antino sickle cell trait, also a sickle cell trait. At least someone say, okay, your sickle cell trait. Still, we're going to go ahead and get married, which is fine. But this year in him, asama a bit to me see.
To be unqualified coin.
Debbie, one come quite. Move my still. Right?
Hey, Prof. Jai.
Oh, no. Tell me, Cano.
Yeah, me too.
Tell me, Cano. Pledge, you know, say, find out before you marry.
Yes.
Pledge, you know, can say, when you find out, don't marry.
Pledge is also before.
Aye, before.
Into maybe before, no. And a man who said, maybe I'm here AS or AC. It is likely say about SS.
Aye, 25%.
80 era anakrachi. Yeah. Inso ubia ahana yede osumna bewe ubia nkwane kwanye nkore say bia yebenya better people because
better people.
Well, better people in the sense say yebenya ubia yebeti are complementing asemoma
mate.
Because at 25%, what if it goes against me?
So that is in fact this is great. Just I know your decision me.
Yes.
There might be two other people who will be in the same situation. Because okay, who say your AC mismo AS, but still
your mind.
You bet we'll go ahead to get married. So now you have the information. And he said use your phone back na moko hospital na obani bema na moko hospital nyeso obano peneko moko hospital na what catch the doctor say na ASAC into there's a risk. So I'm a doctor for no money back kwala no mo hwe say okay there's a chance to say akwala obey sickle cell disease. Into move on pet there are programs in this country. Wo kolebu ni konfanochia you're testing kwala as soon as you are warm you're testing for sickle cell disease. In fact some programs we are running in Ghana for a long time on a pilot scheme since 1995.
And how come nobody's making noise about it?
Oh, a lot of noise has been made, perhaps not here, but since 1995, over 500,000 babies born in Ghana have been screened for sickle cell disease.
Wow.
500,000.
That's impressive.
Yes. And through that screening, over 9,000 children have been identified at birth to have sickle cell disease.
And request sickle cell AB before your area.
Was it?
Is it true say AB before black people area?
Well, that is an oversimplification. A very common war Africa. A bit war India. A bit war Mediterranean. Into a area and frequency no has gone up as a result of some protection sickle cell trait has against malaria. Into a nucrese a common in Africa, but it's not true say a happy in a war.
Because it be the a certain I don't know the right word, person may offend you, but it be the case be say Sema Wari Bruni because when you who's else sorry, say Wari Bruni Mobane. I don't know, you are the expert in these things.
Yes.
I know.
Let's say last me buy and I say we have about 25,000 genes. Right? Sickle cell one gene per. Other genes no so almost
almost
more massive. Chesa Prof say diarrhea is common, cystic fibrosis is common, hemophilia is common. Nti yare de
Baby I'll be Phoebe
into me dodgy genetic diseases because genes aya mistakes bem.
Yeah.
Na mistakes so aya some of the mistakes provide some advantage in environment awuti. Nti hasia your sickle cell because it has some protection against malaria say. Abrochre there was a time there was a problem with iron. Nti almost mutation be a to store iron pa ewo ho.
Okay.
Nti mutations in there it doesn't spare any population. Say what the genes no ancestor.
Obia benyane there.
Obia wo risk. Nti GHGenome, our focus is making Ghanaians aware of the fact that genes are your way. It be MIN changes are yen say obi say opaka so me papa gap on the teeth miss menya be nice. These are nice wonderful traits I can wasem. But some of the traits also bring sadness. Say bema yariaba nti chese yen ejuma ni say ye come obi ati say there are diseases the reason why we have them is because of our genes. Some of those diseases, if we screen early, to say breast cancer, say, or mutation be increases will risk for breast cancer. Now we do 25, that we need. Now we go screen at least you have the chance say obey mastectomy before breast cancer or prostate cancer risk. Now I could check it also with PSA higher before prostate cancer ne beba no o doctors say say prostate cancer say bibi na so mo ya on betumi aye yes o betina ho na afi disease na aba na wo say o na minimum
Minua baby SS na or say leave the love is blind out. Some of us, our parents did love is blind, especially because that time now I open no come. And here we are. Kwame, as you know, sickle cell crisis is not a joke.
No, it's not.
If you can, don't bring it upon any child.
Yes.
Let them check before they get married. Prof is right.
Yes.
Wow.
Check before you get married.
Yeah.
But as geneticists,
Yes.
our involvement in your personal life stops at providing you with the guidance and the information. We don't want a situation where any health professional is becoming so intrusive into the family decisions and saying, "Man, you say, man, you say."
Intermediate memo information. No?
Yes.
So information, any.
Yes.
What you want to do with it is your business.
Yes.
Prof, sorry. Now, okay, baby. Sorry.
Yes, you're right. What you want to do with it is your business, but here is additional information to help you make the decision.
Yeah. Second one, I'll get my newborn baby tested for sickle cell disease before their first immunization.
This is so critical because, there are parts of the world that all babies in the United States, Acquah you're testing for sickle cell.
Acquah. Really?
In the whole of the United States. Sickle cell disease is more common here. And yet, the public health programs in the US, and I believe now in England and other parts of Europe, almost testing for yare bebreo. So because cystic fibrosis is very common. But into the Omayan is almost the sickle cell, I can't battery of diseases almost tested for in Kuala.
Just say you won't ever test
They have tested US. They test more than 20 diseases at birth.
Aqualafia no that was
Phenylketonuria, first one. And teachers said newborn screening programs in the West are well advanced. Now, for sickle cell disease, when a child is found to have that disease, the major thing you want to prevent is infection in early childhood. Into your mom penicillin. Your mom penicillin, just say, I need to protect you from infection in with sickle cell disease. Into second GHGenome pledge, they say, get your newborn tested for sickle cell disease in this country before their first immunization. Families be brain say, "Ya wa kwala wa Ghana ha, omo be ma green book be 3 months obeko omo be one pandie 6 months." In fact, baby well clinics are very religious about it. Omo nim say so omo ko. But sickle cell information kakra wo mum deɛ. But the information means say test obano. So what test obano? Now who say or a sickle cell? That child can now be enrolled in a simple program where they are given penicillin to stop them from dying from infectious disease. So the GHGenome pledge number 2 is say, in addition to immunization, I name say obia nimno for sickle cell testing count. I test the Acquah before their first immunization. If you do this, the likelihood is that the child would have been tested before 3 months.
Okay.
And then they are put on penicillin, which doesn't cost a whole lot of money, and it will then protect them from getting infection and dying as a result. This is needless death. And I have to emphasize this. For a child with sickle cell disease to die of infection in the 21st century is needless.
Because there are ways to
prevent
it. Until we need education. Meanwhile, man, so breast cancer, I'll find out my risk of getting breast cancer this year. Now, if I'm I'll get my prostate specific antigen test done this year. Put these two together, and I remember last one.
Okay. Until the focus of GHGenome, we are focusing on 3 major diseases. Genetics plays a role. Acquah sickle cell. Until we be focusing in Kola.
Yeah.
Second one is breast cancer. We be focusing on Imba. The third is prostate cancer. Until GHGenome pledge 3 and 4 is calling out to all Ghanaian women and men that get these screens done.
Breast and prostate.
Yes. The tests are here. You can go into any lab and do a PSA test. Okay, I mean, check your price. No.
And only prostate specific antigen.
Prostate specific antigen. I mean, check your price. No. I mean, sure say, and yet too serious that it can be done, especially if you know that one could be an out baby on your prostate cancer and that a ma or car baby. Now, what you won't check it. Go check it. Who go checking a higher na fee wako you refer to hospital. And I just say obi a monitor. Dr. Becker says okay, every 4 months and I say every 6 months you be
yes.
To the extent of okay, right now we are getting into a situation I serious. I say maybe yaba we draw and I say bibisa. Into there again is no excuse whatsoever to not have these tests done. We are bar breast exam, it be cry to me trauma. One can so bit me exam because I say, woman, you know more about your anatomy than another doctor.
Yes.
We check here. We check it regularly. If there's a suspicious lump, be a wound say, wait, last week then you go and see a doctor for a more thorough examination, and then if there is a chance for you to do a genetic test to see whether you have these genes that increases your risk of getting breast cancer, then you do that as well. So for some diseases there, say aba na wase ona minim say me risk no. Well, if that was the case before, it is no longer the case. You can't wasem nti bomodi ana ye ho adwuma.
Peace 104.3. So we feed to us here, Professor Fiifi Ofori Acquah, or a director GHGenome project in Eja. Yakotrina about on the Omra Metro and the Kakranfa Yina. Yaka about anope, ma, yaka about sickle cell. Wa babe worry, so be to me, I could test it, Beman, your banning. Namu make sure, say, Mujina baby, ye, and son, I want you not wakoma, oba, sickle cell. Yasaswaka say, Akolano, ye wona, so be to me, yen testing before the first immunization. Answer na me bemuno ye can about breast cancer and prostate. Breast cancer ye ma edia, prostate ye mema dia. Unim ebia na wofa ona na opapa o ma me bi enya bi pen. Na essence e genes in na mogenum one ha na ebia odibi amam. Prof, answer na be call me for the very last one. I'll encourage everyone I know to take the GHGenome pledge. Anything.
This is wonderful, and again, thank you for the platform. So the 5th pledge is that we are calling on all Ghanaians to be advocates. Yes, thank you. Because who name say oko test it, for breast cancer, and I will test it potentially for prostate. Now why you didn't want there be any sir. Until what wouldn't you join now say me koye me PSA we bet me cry a challenge. They say you take a piece FM saying Bema Nina. Now why a challenge? Every month one your PSA, koye PSA. We bet me cry man go for batch kit 22 be them with their boho who's the best employee number one. My list. Yeah, I check you.
Until also go check it.
I also go check it. So it is part of basically a rallying cry to make sure that everybody joins hands. Because if we do this as a nation, to the extent that Obia checking any breast exam, Obama Biasu is now well in tuned about prostate specific antigen test. Can you just imagine, 5-10 years time, if this has become part of our national culture?
Yeah.
How many potential cases of breast cancer and prostate cancer we can avert?
Yeah.
It could be massive. And that in turn will release the burden on our healthcare system. Because if we are doing prevention, which is always better than cure, then it means that the resources in some of these major hospitals can now be diverted to diseases for which we cannot control. To a COVID by said we didn't know anything about.
There be COVID there be prior.
Yes. But just imagine if we had a lot more resources at the outset. And these resources were there because we were not using it on other diseases for which prevention would have made sure that those resources were available.
Prof, nipa bibika said Bema de oko check your PSA above the moment you hit age 40. But most of my professionals who say kramunya cases in much younger men. And from your experience, at what age and you say start to check your prostate, Mema?
So there are multiple ways. A bit more what prostate cancer or family no more. So
Okay.
You find no first. When you say prostate cancer or family, please check it as soon as you when you're 21. Go and check it because maybe your grandfather had prostate cancer, your uncle had prostate cancer. Let's go and check it. The earlier you check it, the better because then you get a baseline, right? When you have baseline, so that okay, maybe the is 0.1 when I was 20. Sir, we check it. Dr. Casa, so don't worry about it. Maybe check it in 2-3 years. No, I could check it. But if you don't check early and you don't have a good baseline, and I feel because high PSA doesn't mean say, prostate cancer. Small inflammation. Maybe we are really be wokakra. Na as I go check it. Maybe you had some small inflammation. And to go and check it whilst you are nice and filthy and healthy. I will say yes, I'm in good shape. That would give you the true baseline, and then you take it from there.
I see. Prof, you better say, Papa, Professor Fiifi Ofori Acquah, Director GHGenome Project. But Prof, we say we encourage GHGenome Project, but there's something that's always bothered me. Yeka genes na abamitrim na me hu say obi so dia by a friend Francis. Prof, mesre G6PD.
G6PD is glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase.
Mpacho ye enye nu na cool school.
That's what I will be saying.
Yes, so debia mete. But truth is that
okay.
What is G6PD? Does it have anything to do with genes and
I said last me by me church when we said proteins are body producing genes in my instructions
Okay.
Into your sickle cell assembly yes protein no involved your friend hemoglobin.
Yes.
And then a blood cell more my blood no look red G6PD a enzyme. Enzyme is involved in the breakdown of sugar that we take.
Okay.
Now, and also just like hemoglobin the gene no coded for no and also I have mutations wom. Into Ghana say you won't go for mutations of G6PD. Me say the full name no glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase no.
Glucose 6-phosphate
dehydrogenase. Enzyme. Into sa enzyme no. Eye nejuma produce bibia from antioxidants.
Okay.
Ebwine. Now, so what mutation for GCSPD? Now, could be na increasing oxidant levels, especially in your red cells. What and na am yari? Because first of all, GCSPD and ye juma ye one. Na make say juma so say produce antioxidants.
Antioxidants.
And say who could di BB. In fact, a good example is fava beans. Who could di fava beans? And I say who could find a drobia, create a lot of oxidants. Now we are GCSPD deficient, and I just say what overburden your red cells antioxidants.
But how would you know?
When you test, so GCSPD, you bet me I test it.
Okay.
So we are GCSPD deficient or not, and it's a test that the laboratories here are quite capable of doing. At least at the protein level, you'll be able to find out whether you have a GCSPD deficiency.
And you encourage us to do that too?
I will encourage you to do that. At the end of the day, any condition we're suspicious that maybe you may have some issues with it, just get it tested. But with GCSPD, it's one of these. In fact, it's a great example because it's one of these mutations. Emma Yario. Debbie, but who could BB and Alcofa BB increasing with oxidant levels no. Now because we GCSPD no endorse unti. Na just say abayasem.
Wow. Apomodin onsem. Prof, da ben yensan hwehwe obiom. Sa nkomo me yebetimi adia be the whole day. Well, ja una professor into kire ade kra ye man. Da ben bi ni hwehwe.
Anytime I will him be yebeba. We'll make time to come.
When is the next GHGenome project?
The next GHGenome project is going to be at Acquah. Yeko screening screening we are doing it in collaboration with traditional leaders.
Yes, okay.
I say Ogwahenkra ba screening nibi.
Great.
Oba ye yinimoja ye testing. So makoho ene wa nano ekodi nkomodada.
Oh good.
Into I agree say ye be screening part of the Damba festival which comes off on the 12th of October. Okay. But screening it the Saturday before. The one now has been very gracious. Nice. You'll be using the Palace compound ISR screening. Into 8th of October, my name in call for a best way on Acquah. Now screening in Kuala for sickle cell disease, and bar for breast cancer, and in Burma for prostate cancer.
You better Acquah, but you're another round of education.
I'll be most
boy, papa.
Never.
On a light note, Santa Clausians say they are proud of you.
And they say Santa, dear, is there any other?
Miss Shremo, say yeah. You can't about one if you would the echo. What they say about Santa Clausians say they are proud of you. No, I can't say now you see now you're a cadet sergeant major.
I certainly was.
You've got the bearings of a soldier. So you're soldiering in science for your country.
Yes.
Prof Yadasi. Professor Fiifi Ofori Acquah, director GHGenome project, and we've had quite an interesting chat. He was here the other day, and today we said, look, let him come back and educate us. Ombekowa the 8th of October. Na senior kaya wana abwa omse omumbra nombe yejuma. Omuyeria sometime in October nyame adoma. We'll have him come by. So ubenya dajia, we pray he does. Enye debia nebe amanyosem. Apomudin so hia pa. I can't kill myself. You see that one? So don't kill yourself. Check your PSA. Check for breast cancer. Check for sickle cell.